sitting down here to do some spinning. I finally got through that Corriedale green that I was working on last time, last vlog. And now I'm doing the single that I'm going to ply it with, sorry. And this is for a 2-ply fingering / score. I don't know what it will be, but I'm pretty sure it'll be a nice fingering weight for the Through Lines scarf by Andrea Mari. So I have this variegated, beautiful green that I'm working on now, which I am loving working on. It is, like, merino is just such a delight. I love it so much. And I think plied with the Corriedale, I think will just help soften that up a little bit, which will be good for a scarf that sits around your neck. I already have my contrast color spun up. I think I'm just gonna do for the Through Lines, I know it uses 2 contrast colors, but I think I'm going to just do, I'm just gonna do 1 contrast color, 1 variegated stain that I've already spun up ages ago, I believe on my drop spindles. And then I applied it on my Traveler. So I am looking forward to knitting that. It'll probably end up being a summer knit. But again, no promises. I'm trying right now to just do knit and spin what brings me joy and what makes me happy, because at the end of the day, that's really what this is all about. There's no pressure, there's no deadlines. Like, I literally don't have any deadlines, so why am I putting so much pressure on myself in the past to get stuff done? I know, it's so crazy. So yeah, I'm dropping the expectations and the deadlines, because I'm a mom now and I will be going back to work eventually, which will leave me with even less time to craft and film. So yeah, I'm just, when I go back to work, you'll probably see some clips, like lunch break clips. So I'll be in my work truck and talking about what I'm knitting on my lunch break. Like, that'll likely be a lot of the video, but then I'll also get a lot of B-roll because I travel all over the province for work and I'm out in nature a lot, and I see a lot of really beautiful buildings, a lot of really beautiful landscapes. So yeah, creatures. I've seen wolves, I've seen bears, I've seen deer, I've seen little critters that I've never even knew existed. I've seen planes take off on the water, like right beside me as I'm working, or land on the water right beside me as I'm working. So I see a lot of things with that job. So I wasn't gonna go back. We were gonna keep me home with her, but we do plan on having another kid at some point. We would like to have a family of 4. Or if we have twins, a family of 5. I came from a family of 5, so I don't mind that. But the thought of going through pregnancy 2 more times, and I'm 31, so I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think so. 1 more kid. So I would like to get a paid mat leave, so that's why I'll go back to what I was doing before for a little bit. We'll hopefully get her in a daycare 3 days a week. Maybe I'll go back 4 days a week. I don't know. It's all up in the air right now, but yeah, it would be nice to have her home 4 days of the week. So still majority of the week, she's still being raised by her parents, and then she'll spend 3 days in preschool, not even daycare, it's preschool. So at least in preschools, they tend to actually teach your children. And they get a little bit more attention than they would in a daycare, where they're just kind of making sure they survive the day. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling. I went to my first Spinning Guild meeting, which was awesome. They had a shepherdess come in, and I wish that I knew her name, Barbara something. I'm gonna link her book down below because she read from her book while she was there. She's run her own farm here in Ontario for 50 years. And this book chronicles, it's a memoir in a year of the life of a shepherdess. And she goes through what it's like to work with these sheep and, you know, be there for them when they give birth to new baby lambs. And it's just so, it was so interesting. And I bought the book for my Kindle because I would love to read it before bed in the evenings. So I can't wait to actually like get into it and read it myself because it's so fascinating. I would love to work on a ranch or a lambing farm or whatever. Like, I would love that. So I really enjoyed the lesson that they had with her. And yeah, it was nice to take my traveler there. I decided to take my traveler and people were gushing over it. It's so funny. As soon as I walked in, people were like, oh, a new person. So everyone rushes over to meet me, which was so lovely. Everyone was so kind. And there were a few travelers there, but nobody seemed to recognize it as the traveler because it's stained mahogany. They thought it was the Kromsky Minstrel, which is around the same size, I think, but a bit more ornate than this. And so it's funny, I was like, no, it's the traveler. My dad and I just stained it. I've always loved mahogany, so that's the color I chose to stain it. And yeah, everyone was so kind. It was really nice to just sit and spend for a few hours. This Saturday is the first fiber festival of the season, and I cannot wait. It's like 20 minutes from home, so I'm gonna take Lucy. We're gonna go up and they have a barn of course, your vendors. And then the spinners are there and they are doing like a demonstration. I would have joined them for that. Except that I have Lucy with me that day, so I won't be able to bring my wheel and sit down and spin. But yeah, I'll bring Lucy with me. We're gonna do maybe a bit of shopping, probably not. We're probably just gonna look around, walk around, say hi to people we haven't seen in a long time. And then there is a Sunday, like Saturday weekend kind of market thing of like local artisans. I think a couple years ago, that's when I bought like these handmade beaded bracelets that I got for all my bridesmaids in like a matching color to my bridesmaid dresses. So yeah, it'll be really nice to go visit that again. And then they have a second barn by the market where people bring their animals. So they have sheep, they have Angora rabbits, they have cashmere goats. It's like just a little mini Rhinebeck, like really mini Rhinebeck. Like it's smaller. I think this festival is smaller than majority of the festivals in the area that I go to. At least in terms of vendors, it was last year, and the location is pretty tiny too, but they do have the two barns. There are more vendors in the barn with the animals as well. I know there are like fleeces for sale too, which is nice because a lot of the other festivals don't actually have like fleeces for sale. They don't have the animals. So that's what makes this one kind of nice in terms of vendors and size. It's smaller, but in terms of like the experience, it's much greater. So I think Lucy would like to go and see the animals, and yeah, it could be a really nice little outing for us. It's only 20 minutes north of here, so it's really easy to get to, really safe. I think it's supposed to be pretty warm this weekend. Today is supposed to be 20 degrees and sunny. So we're gonna get out for a couple walks. Yesterday we got out for 2 walks. I did like 45 minutes in the morning, and then I did over an hour in the afternoon with her in the carrier. So like a 20-pound weighted vest. It was a workout, but I loved it. And then I also went for my run in the evening too. So yesterday was a very high energy output day. So today we're just going to do a couple of maybe slower, shorter walks, half an hour, 45 minutes max. And then I have a strength training session tonight. So I'm only 5 weeks away from my half marathon. My run yesterday was supposed to be over an hour of, I don't know, like I think it was a 6:15 per kilometer pace. So nothing too fast. I was running faster than that majority of the time, and the watch keeps telling me, slow down, your pace is too high, whatever. But I felt really strong. I felt really, really good. Yeah, I did not end up running at the hour and 10 minutes because my husband wanted to go golfing for the first time in the year. And we had a bunch of house stuff to do. So I ended up only doing like 40 minutes, which is okay because I did a lot of walking and stuff yesterday too. So I feel like all in all, the whole day added up, time on feet, it was just fine. But I have this whole training split. I have had a lot of like missed long runs, and long runs are so important. So I'm getting a little nervous that I can probably run my pace for like an hour and a half, and then the last like 15 to half an hour, I'm gonna be dying, which is probably the case anyway if you're pushing yourself on race day, but I don't want to be dying to the point where like I can't actually, like my legs are tiring enough, I can't actually do it, or I'm getting an injury. Yeah, so I'm a little nervous. 5 weeks is not a long time. There's so much going on. I cannot wait till the tapering and the carb loading. That's, yeah, past the few days leading up to the race, you bet. Yeah, that's what we're doing for sure. Anyway, I will let you go for now. I'm gonna keep spinning and then I'm gonna feed my baby her lunch because she wants it. So, talk soon. So update on the home camisole. I love knitting this. I really do. I've been really enjoying this pattern. I do have to say though, just the way it's constructed, like look at the tangle. Like it is just a mess. Every time I pull this out of my project bag, I'm just like overwhelmed with the mess. Honestly, I've just completed the final back triangle, which is the final of the 4 triangles you have to knit. And I gotta try and get this thing, I have to try and get this thing straightened out before I join. I'm pretty sure I can join the these 2 sides just fine, but oh my goodness, the tangle is wild. I'm gonna know for next time to maybe weave in my ends. I might do that next time. Is I have all these like 6-inch ends and they also just add to the tangled mess that it is. So I feel like I'm gonna probably, for the pink one, when I do cast on, I will probably, oh my goodness, like look at this. It's a mess. It's an absolute dumpster fire of really nice fiber. At least none of this is my working yarn. This is literally all the ends, but it's like, the problem is I'm holding 2 strands double and then those are like 3 strands loosely plied together. So it really is just, it's like they're coming apart. So this is really a mess. This is such a mess. Okay. Yeah, this is tough. So next time when I finish a triangle, weave in your end. I mean, it is linen and cotton blend. So realistically, with a cotton linen blend, I can expect that it's not going to grow a ton. I should have just woven in my ends. I might before, I mean, at this point, does it really even matter? Like once I join in the round, nothing's really going to get as tangled. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking I might just take this moment, sit here and try to sort through this and maybe, oh, there we go. I got that one out. Goodness gracious, me oh my. Holy heckin' Bob. All of the expletives. Oh my gosh. English major here. All the expletives I can think of that, you know, aren't like too kind of kid-friendly ones. Okay. I think we got it. I think I did it. Okay, we did. Okay, there we are. Although that goes that way. Okay. Right, and nothing's crisscross. I want to make sure before I join the back section here that nothing is twisted. Looking at this now though, I'm kind of thinking I do not need to add any stitches to it. I don't know, it looks bigger than I knit a size medium, and I was thinking of adding the 4 stitches on either side just to give me a little bit more ease, but it's looking quite big. I don't think I need to do that anymore. I think I might not add anything. I think I might just let it be because it's looking really good. Like, I don't know. Here we go. I just don't want to tangle it up, but like that's, I don't know, maybe I'll just add 2 stitches. So it's 4 stitches overall, 2 stitches on either side. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say. I should get like pull out a tank top that I love the fit of and just like hold it up to the fabric from seam to seam and just see how it does, because I don't know. I think it looks fine. We'll see. I'm gonna join in the round, or join the back panels, the back triangles, and then I'm going to knit those for a bit and then get to the point where I join, and then I'll decide whether or not it needs to be elongated or widened a little bit. So I'll see you soon. All right, and here we are. We have both sides done. It's just a matter of figuring out whether or not I need to add some stitches, which I'm gonna figure out right now. I'm gonna grab a tank top that I like the fit of and just hold it seam to seam and see what I'm at. This is what I have left for yarn. This is still the first 2 balls. I have 4 more. I really don't think I needed as much. I mean, I calculated based on the yardage of these held double, and then with the yardage that was suggested for the size, maybe I did actually the size large, just in case I needed to go up. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have more than I need left, which means if I buy 1 more ball of this, I might actually have enough to do the crochet tank top that I wanted to do, as well as the 2 knits. That means I have to buy 1 more ball of the pink as well, but how nice would that be? That's 4 tank tops this summer then that I'll have, that are very different styles, but my 2 favorite colors, like a nice pretty natural pink, like a neutral pink, and then this beautiful earthy green. Very subtle, very pretty, very me. Not that I'm subtle and pretty or anything, but all right, let's see if I can figure out the sizing before I connect in the round. Yay! I've checked the garment. I've kind of tried it on, put it over my shoulders and like pinched. It's right now the way it's sitting. If I join in the round and don't add anything, it's perfect. But the pattern does call for me to add 9 stitches on either side to do size medium. So I'm obviously off gauge a little bit. I don't have my ruler out to like actually check, but I am like definitely off gauge with holding these double and whatever. It's fine. I don't really care because I can try it on. So at this point, I think I'm going to kind of like try it on again. When I'm ready to do it, I'm going to put another lifeline in on the back, under the back triangles, like I have one on the front, just in case what I add is too much or too little. I'm pretty sure I'm good not adding anything extra, but I have to actually put on like the bra that I would wear with this shirt, which I'm wearing a sports bra. So I know my bust is a little bit smaller when I'm wearing a sports bra, so I gotta switch that, put on like a normal bra, try it on, again, kind of clip them. Get my husband maybe to clip them underneath the underarms. Because if it's just fitting perfectly over my bust without stretching, then it'll be perfect over my stomach. But if I add too much positivity around the bust, then it's gonna be really baggy around my stomach, which is not the look I'm going for. I also don't wanna add any decreases or anything like that. So I want this to be like loosely fitted. You know, I don't want it to be super baggy around my belly or, you know, fitting perfect around my belly, but like bust, like stretching around my bust. So I just gotta, it's such a fine margin for sizing, whereas like with sweaters, like there's so much more room for error, or not room for error, but like there's more grace, I guess, when you have like a sweater that's 6 to 10 inches of positive ease. If you're in that area, you're fine. It's gonna fit you the way you want. Whereas with the tank top, you have to be really sure before you move on. But it's okay because I only have to really knit a few rows in the round down the body, and then I can try it on again, super easily try it on. So I think what I'm gonna do is like weave in all of my little ends that are bugging me and annoying me. And then I'm going to clip it and then try it on as it, like without adding any stitches. That's just as if I'm not going to add any at all. And then we'll see what that looks like. And then if I feel like I want to add maybe 2 stitches in the underarm on each side, so 4 stitches instead of 9, that would work. That's even a bit smaller than, oh no, yeah, size small is adding 5 stitches on either side, and then size medium does 9 stitches on either side. I'm gonna be 4 stitches total, 2 stitches on either side. So I technically knit like a size extra small. So my gauge is way off, must be way off, which is really odd. I'm not normally that far off, but I like the fabric. I wouldn't go any tighter anyway, holding these two. They're very thin, fine fingering weights. Like I'd say they're a light fingering for sure. They're listed as a light fingering on the True North Yarn website. So I wouldn't go, like holding them double, I wouldn't go less than 4 millimeters. I feel like a 3.75 needle would just make it way too like thick and sturdy of a fabric. Especially for a fabric that's not gonna stretch and like get bent out of shape too much, right? So I think I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the gauge. I'm happy with the fabric. This is why we do top-down garments, right? So yeah, it's totally fine. I'm going to clip it together, try it on, add a lifeline just in case I hate it. Just in the chance that I hate it and I would want to rip back, then at least I rip back to the join and then I can figure out what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna clip it, try it on with the proper bra, see how I like it, and then we'll decide then what I'm gonna do for additional underarm stitches. I have an update. We have joined. I don't know how to show this. I lost my tripod. My baby stole my tripod, took off with it. So now I don't know where it is. So I have nothing to prop you up on. So sadly, this is the shaky business we're gonna have to deal with. So I hope you are still watching because that would be sad if I lost you. Anyway, here we are. So we've joined in the round. I did add on, so I added on enough stitches. Since I put it on, it kind of fit perfectly. Like it did touch, it's underneath my armpit, but I wasn't over the fullest part of my bust yet when I put my bra on that I would wear with this. So I knew it would still fit, but it would be probably a little bit stretched over the breast, maybe. So I decided to add, I did 7 stitches in the underarm, which is kind of between size small and medium, or is it extra small and small? It's much smaller than I thought it was going to be. So it's not even a medium. I thought it was going to be between medium and large. I'm actually between a small and a medium, I think, or an extra small and a small. At this point, we're kind of just knitting the way I knit my sweaters, where I just I don't really follow the pattern. Like I follow the pattern for like lace work or texture or whatever, but when I'm just knitting like a stockinette sweater, I kind of just try things on as I go and do it to my exact specifications that I like. I don't really follow patterns all that much. And I've never really had a sweater that I didn't like, unless it was like, oh, the pattern didn't have short rows. And in the end, I didn't like the way it fit on me or sat on me because there's no short rows. Like that kind of stuff I have. But I think that's pretty normal. Anyway, in terms of like stitch counts and following patterns like that, I can kind of get away with doing what I want because I've been knitting for 20 years. So I know my gauge, I know myself really, really well. And I know the way I like things to fit. So here we are, another pattern that I thought would be completely to pattern is not. But anyway, I'm gonna leave the little lifeline in on the front panel because that's the only thing differentiating the front panel from the back. There is no like change in the front and the back. They're done the exact same. So I guess this tank top, you can kind of wear it, like when you put it on, you can kind of just put it on however you want to put it on because yeah, there's no difference. They're all the same. So this has been a super easy pattern, I will say. Super, super easy. And this is really not a great way. I'm going to show you better. There, much better. So here we are. Yeah, I think it's going to be the perfect size. I love the fabric. Like I wouldn't have gone down a needle size because like I wouldn't want my fabric any tighter than this. Otherwise it just wouldn't be, I don't know, it wouldn't be very, like it wouldn't be drapey enough, I guess. And like linen and cotton doesn't grow that much. So yeah, you wouldn't really want, I wouldn't want to go tighter than that. My pink one, like maybe I could try casting on with a 3.75 millimeter and see how it goes. But I kind of feel like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is a really great gauge that I have here. And I think it's going to fit wonderfully. It'll definitely, because now I just have to knit in the round all the way down until I do the I-cord bind off. So like she's basically done in my mind. Like I can sit on the bike and knit with this as well. So tons of knitting time on this. I could probably get a couple hours at least in a day, including nap time. If I can get nap time too, then, you know, mom life, then I could even maybe get 3 hours in a day on this thing. She'll be done. Hopefully by the end of this vlog, this will be done, or at least bound off, and then full try on. I'll know the fit and everything. I'll know if I like it or not. And then I'll have to do all the I-cord all over everything else, which will be a lot of extra work, but I actually really like I-cord, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, so far I'm loving this pattern. It was really enjoyable. Even the triangles, like a lot of other patterns that I've done, I did not like knitting the triangles for the top. I just didn't find it very enjoyable. But these were really enjoyable. They were really simple, really easy to follow. Like I didn't have to actually really keep track of anything other than just the stitch count. Once I reached a certain stitch count, then it was time to switch up the technique or the rate of increases, right? Like it was super, super simple, straightforward. It was just a nice palette cleanser from a pattern that was the pattern I was knitting on before, where I had to literally check every single row, which is just so irritating. Even if it is, it's actually more irritating, I find, when you're knitting on something that's really, really simple, but you have to keep checking your row. I hate that. This is really simple. I didn't really need to check. Otherwise, the odd time I'd count my stitches, but otherwise I didn't really have to check too much for this, which is awesome. Super simple, super enjoyable. I can't wait to knit the next one. However, I will say when I knit the pink version, I'm gonna wear this one for a little while. Like I'm gonna wear it a few times after I wash and block it, just to see how I actually do like the gauge once it's washed and blocked and like on me. Then I'll make the decision on whether or not for the pink one, I'm gonna go down a needle size. So yes, so I am super, super pleased with this pattern. This is the Home Camisole by Kaidri or Kaidri. I'm gonna try to like link all the patterns I talk about down below in the description box because that's what I should be doing and I'm not doing that. So that will all be done from now on. But yeah, so I think the next time I see you, hopefully I'll have this thing cast off or close to cast off. And we'll go to the Fiber Festival, the first one of the year. I'm so excited. We just returned from the Sunshine Fiber Festival and it was so much fun. We took little Lucy with us and it was a kind of a nice family outing to have. And I didn't get much. I was really going in search of like a Surrey lace or even merino, or sorry, mohair to hold double with a kind of coffee colored fiber that I have coming in the mail. I did not find what I wanted, and that's okay. I did find a lady who's willing to custom dye me 3 skeins for a sweater. So we'll see. My first purchase was actually in the second barn with the animals. I got these 2 signs. They were priced for $10 each. They're beautiful signs, and well, they're not really signs, it's like wall art. They're so nice. And it's this girl sitting on a spinning wheel, and I just had to have it. And so for the price, I actually bought 2. So I have 2 of them. Not gonna put them up anywhere until we move, but they're so pretty. I will insert a photo. Hopefully I get one before I edit and upload this vlog. But anyway, my only purchase today is this bamboo merino I got from 3 Dog Knits Fiber Arts. This is not my first. These are big. These are 140 grams each. So I have 280 grams and of this like gorgeous green. And I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with it. Yeah, it's funny. They're the same weight. They're both bamboo merino. They're both 140 grams. One's $28 and one is $32. Anyway, these were the only 2 they had in this color. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet. I mean, it's a little bit much, I think, for a shawl. If I were to spin a shawl in this, I'd probably have too much, like I did with my indigo spin for my Sophie shawl, but then I might be able to get 2 shawls out of it. Because I would love a Sophie shawl out of this. And it does not use, like, I think I used 70 grams for the indigo Sophie shawl I did. So that's an option, doing 2 shawls, or doing like a fingering weight blouse, which could work with like a 3.75 millimeter needle. Could work as well. I would probably do a 2-ply kind of combo spin since one of these is clearly darker than the other. I'm going to show you. Yeah, one is clearly much darker than the other.
but they're really pretty, I think. So yeah, $28 versus $32. They're the exact same, unless this says 190. But I think they're both 140 grams. Doesn't make sense why one would be 190 and they look the same too. So I don't know, weird. But anyway, no questions asked. I just bought it because it was too pretty not to. So I'm really excited to spin this up. And I've got to figure out what I'm doing first. I also wanted to give an update on the home camisole. We are getting there. So that stitch marker there is where I was when I tried it on. So we're getting there. It's gosh, this will be done very soon. Like I am ready almost to cast off. So I'm gonna have this done for sure in the next few days. Unfortunately, not in time to finish this vlog, which is what I'm doing now. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much for joining me and watching and coming with me to the first festival of the year. I wish I got more footage of the like vendor area, but I was just enjoying the time with my husband and my baby. So yeah, lots of animals there, which I love, and my daughter loved the alpacas, and yeah, it was so much fun. So next time you see me, hopefully I'll be doing all of the I-cord edging for this top and casting on a fun new project with some hand spun. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Consider liking and subscribing for more of this vloggy, crafty, knitty, spinny kind of content, and I'll see you next time. Bye.